Well, rats. The fuel line saga is over. And I wish that I could tell you that I got that fuel line crystal clear, clean all the way to the back. And that everything was running through here, through the factory line. I can't say that I did. I got about 3.5 feet, and it's just not going to play ball with me. So, hey, temporary stainless steel line, run all the way down, under the floor pan, anchored in a couple of spots, zip tied in a couple of spots, very temporary install. When the body comes off of this thing, for future restoration, I'll pull the hard line out of the tunnel, fish a new stainless steel line through, factory in, factory out. It'll be beautiful. For now, it's going to be like this. But I did bleed the brakes, so that's all set and done. And now that this line's run, really it's just the gas tank, a fuel filter, some fuel hose at the back, and we're still waiting on the clutch Bowden tube. And then we can fire it over and drive it down the road. So that's very exciting. Let me show you what the fuel line looks like, just to tie it all in a bow. So obviously this is the factory line that I've been working on trying to unclog, and it just didn't work out well. So this is the fuel line that I have installed. It goes down through the drain port at the bottom of the floor there, or the bottom of the Napoleon hat as it's called. I've got it zip tied to this brake line that runs over here to the passenger side front wheel, just to kind of hold it in place, make it nice and secure. It is very secure. It doesn't want to jump around. So that's one nice thing. I put a nice S-curve in it. Our filter will sit over here. Our tank out spout will come somewhere over here. It'll all sort of loop over there away from the tie rods. Should be friendly and nice. Here's where it exits the underside of the Napoleon hat. Traces down, comes over here into the long side underneath by the pan bolts. It's anchored by the pan bolts. Keeps coming along here, anchored by another pan bolt, trying to do that as minimally as possible. Runs along over here, but it's not gonna vibrate around very much or move very much. Comes over here, it's anchored with zip ties at the jack point. The jack point shall not be used because it's rusty, but you know, it's gonna be fine being anchored there. It's just a bunch of zip ties. I know, it's temporary, I know. Just hurts me to look at it. Then it runs up here. It's zip tied there at a brake line to the brake junction box, and then it comes up under here and spits out there. The factory one obviously spits out here, so it spits there and it's pointed above the axle and goes right to up here, which is where I will have another line coming out, and there'll be a short length of hose in between those two lines. And I probably will not run a fuel filter there. Normally I would, but as this is a brand new line and it's stainless steel, just having a fuel filter up front will be sufficient. Normally, if it were the factory line and it were, you know, years of whatever, there could be rust and junk in the factory line. So I'll run one at the front and then one at this line too, so it doesn't kill your fuel pump. And that's how it's all shaping up. And it's shaping up well. It really is. That is the end of the saga of the trying to clear the fuel line. There it is. There you have it. I almost can't believe it. Almost. But I can believe it. The 1967 Zenith Blue Beetle, affectionately known as Willy. Well, it's about ready to hit the road for the first time since 1978, 1979. 1979 sounds right. Gas tank. Fuel hoses all the way to the back. What else? Brakes. Actual brakes. I've got to put the gas pedal in. We've got a new clutch cable Bowden tube, new gear oil in the transmission, new boots on the transmission. Bunch of fun stuff. You've seen most of it. Sadly, we couldn't get the original fuel line through the body cleared. So, you know, temporary fuel line, okay. Hey, I'm doing my best with what I got. Check this out though, this is kind of cool. Among the things in the spare tire well area, this Sherman Import Motors from Decatur, Illinois. License plate frame. How sick is that? That's so cool. And equally as cool, a hairbrush from the 70s. From DuPont. It's almost Zenith Blue. Yeah, all right. Let's get to what you want to see. Show me that engine. There's the little power plant. The little engine that still can. After 40 some odd years, it's still got it. Well, as far as we know, it's still got it. Now, I need to fill it with gas, put in a battery, install the air cleaner, turn the key and drive it. Oh, install that gas pedal. Let me do that, and then we're gonna test drive. I'm gonna get some fuel in here, because you need that to run. And if my calculations are correct, and I believe they are, we have brakes, we have fuel system, we have an engine that has run, hopefully will run again. It's not tuned, electronic ignition, a gas pedal, now we have fuel. Shouldn't be any reason why this thing doesn't go down the road. It's not a ton of fuel, but that's okay. It's enough to get us going. And then I can add more. There is one other thing we need. I have to install the battery. Can't crank it over without the battery. Well, I mean, you can try. Nothing's gonna happen. Getting electrified. Well, I got the positive terminal tight. Negative terminal, I just kind of pushed over it. Because I want to be able to disconnect it quickly, in case I need to. Before we hit the road in Willy, the Beetle, I think we should give it some dignity. Bring back its manufacturer badge. Go right there, you know? Every car deserves dignity. There's just some little rubber keepers that hold this badge on. It's easy and fun. Dignified. Well, all right. I guess it's time we started up. For the first time in roadworthy shape. Man, the sun is really bright. It's a really nice day here though, so not complaining, not complaining. Okay, I don't see why why I can't crank it over. It'll take some time to build fuel to the carb. But then it should start, and we should be able to go down the road. Now it's just playing with me. That seat is not going to slide back. Definitely going to need to work to free the seat up. So I'm just going to have to cut my legs down. We have oil and generator lights. Well, that was something. We built oil pressure there, but I don't think we have fuel yet. Hey, we got fuel now. Gonna have to work on that door latch a little bit. I have no idea where the idle will rest now that it's not running off a gas can. But it's on choke. It's got absolutely no tune on the carburetor. Because as you saw, the only time we've run it was before off the fuel can and just kind of having to keep it alive. That seems pretty happy overall. Huh. Look at that. Your heart beats, Willie. I'm proud of this little car. I don't mind it. We'll just put this right here. Okay, first time since 1979 going into gear and rolling under its own power. And stopping under its own power too. Now it's coming off a choke and it's wanting to die. Gonna definitely have to do something about that. Definitely gonna tune it a bit more. And then I think we take it down the road. Exciting. So I've gone ahead and set and stabilized the tune. The exhaust is burning in, so there's a wonderful odoriferous exhaust burn-in vibe floating and wafting through the air. It's also making me wonder if something's on fire. Nothing's been on fire yet, so. But as you can hear and see, it's running. I don't know if I'd call it a Swiss watch, but it's running like a European watch. It if you want to catch a look at the timing here. It's hard to see because of frame rate and flash and all that, but we're running about 5 to 7 degrees advance. Walking idle from about 800 to 850. $6,135 miles. I'm guessing that's 106, 135, but you never know. Let's see if the emergency flashers work. Oh, yeah, that's fun. Look at this cute little service record from Standard before it was even Amoco. From Standard Oil. Gas and oil, maybe? Standard gas? I don't know. I wasn't alive then. I'm just a youngin'. And we got the obligatory bug mats, but I think this is an original set. They're blue, which, you know, they normally only sell them in black now, I think. So these ones are blue, so I think these are an original set from a dealership at some era. View behind the back, under the back seat. View of Addie hanging out, dreaming of freedom. You want by the door, girl? You can go by the door. Go on. Stretchies. Big stretchies, yeah. Good girl. Are you happy, girl? Yeah. Yeah, that's your Baja. Sure. Okay, that's enough fun for one day. So cute. I don't know, man. I don't know that there's much more for me to say or do. I think I got to take it down to the gas station, get some gas in it. I definitely got to change into chucks. These are not built for the pedal box area of a Beetle. But I mean, this thing's ready to go down the road for the first time since 1979. The brakes feel great. I do have to make a little adjustment to the clutch, I think, but it's a high pedal right now. I just got to loosen it a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. I'll wait until it cools down next time to do that. Wait to pop the hubcaps on too until I'm sure. What a moment in time. It's one of the reasons that I get up in the morning. No, it's one of the reasons that I love what I do. It is also one of the reasons I get up in the morning, go to work. But it's pretty cool to take a car down the road that's just been sitting with a fire extinguisher in the passenger seat so that you know you're not going to die. It's a cool car. Let's go for a drive. Well, the old school retractor belts work, so that's kind of cool. Here goes. Just gonna test the brakes. Yep. Hey, we're going down the road. Stops real nice. What a treat. That won't stay up. And I still gotta glue the carpeting up, it keeps falling on my leg. I got a full tank of gas now. It's off to the races. Gotta clean the windshield for sure. All the dust. Definitely have to give the clutch an adjustment. Wonder if the horn works. No horn. Not surprising. After all these years, this little Beetle really cruises around. That's nice. Well, all right. It goes down the road. Yeah. Man, that's a cool car. That was fun. That was really fun. We got to pull this engine out. The oil cooler's leaking. It's a bummer. But it's a bummer we can fix. Let's see how quick we can do it. It'll be fun. Now then, I've taken the nuts off of the lower bolts, lower studs that hold the engine in. I'm gonna take this breastplate off. Of course, all this stuff was just a part, so it's pretty friendly. It would have been ideal if I had known the oil cooler seals weren't going to be good. I would have taken the engine out to begin with, but what can you do? Now, in an ideal world, I won't have to remove the exhaust. That would be ideal. Oops, I've got a couple more to... I'm getting ahead of myself, getting too excited. Ideally, won't have to remove the exhaust or take the distributor out of position, but the canister, the distributor, is going to come kind of close to the body when I go to pull this out. We'll see. This engine has a thermostat. It's an important piece of the puzzle to disconnect and remove the thermostat before you go trying to pull the fan shroud out. Otherwise, it gets all messed up. We don't want it to get all messed up, so I'm gonna do that right now. Disconnect, remove the thermostat. Thermostat removed. Set that off to the side. Our underside work should be pretty much done at this point. Unless I'm gonna have to remove this exhaust for clearance to the rear apron, which I'm sincerely hoping I won't have to do. It should be just down to a couple of bolts, getting a jack positioned up underneath and wrangling it out. Coming down. Trying to figure out which dolly I use. Normally I use this little guy, but I'm thinking maybe I should use a different one this time. I don't know, the little guy's good. I do have a little bit bigger unit available to me right now. Let me do that one. I had another big engine on this for a while, so it wasn't around, but now it is here. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's real spicy. How are you gonna start a move and then stop moving? That is just animal cruelty. Have to do the old double wrench leverage situation. I have a ratcheting 17mm that I really like for after I get that bolt broken free. It's one of my faves. In situations where I can't take it off by hand, which happens, like this, the threads are just a little gummed up and kind of sticky over the years. So ratchet works, ratchet works well. Well, that was annoying, but I got it. Now this side, similar situation. Got that one too. I'd hope so. If my calculations are correct, and they really should be, there's nothing left holding the engine in. Yes, the accelerator cable is still going through the fan shroud, but I'll have to eject that after it actually gets pulled more or less out. So Now there's a couple of things that could hang us up though. The heater stoker pipes I should probably pull out of there. They may hang us up. And then everything else should be more or less okay. This one is the one that, yeah, that one would be more in the way. This little guy could hit the apron as the engine comes out. Now, if I'm thinking about this correctly, this puppy should slide out of here. Lower bolts are done. Upper bolts are done. Everything's done. Any wires or anything holding it up? The fuel line's disconnected. This could maybe hold it up a little bit, but we can weather that storm. Let's see about it. It's coming. It's just coming kind of slow. It's just been a minute since this thing's been out of here. I might be able to just pull on the jack if I hit the right spot with it. Yep. Okay. Somebody's leaving me a voicemail, so I was listening to that for a second. We're not quite clear of the input shaft. We're pretty dang close to it. I'm gonna pull the accelerator cable out because I don't want that holding up our whole operation here. Get that out. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. Talking to the accelerator cable, not myself. I don't believe in myself. I can't believe myself. I can't believe a single thing I say. Okay. A little bit more to go, and then it's out, and then we get to replace the oil cooler seals. If everything plays just right and friendly, can usually start the process of dropping it down and out. Right at the tippy tip of the input shaft. So that may have let it go there. May have just gotten the room. It looks like it's very close. Try and come down with it a little more. Something like that. Oh, no, we're clear of the input shaft. Oh, ha. Here I am trying to do something that I don't have to do. It'll come down now. And we're out. Out and down. Gonna take the car up. There you have it. Engine's out. Huh. I couldn't read this before. Someone wrote Anderson on the fan shroud. They scratched in here. I'll show you. Isn't that wild? I mean, it's funny because it reads towards the front of the car. So, you know, it's not going to read right this way. And you can't even see it when the engine's in place. So, well, hey, Anderson was here, man. So, how about them apples? Here's the clutch pack. It looks pretty good, actually, overall. All the springs and everything. Nothing's twisted or bound up. That's where the input shaft dragged past this little spring pack on the way out. Everything seems pretty decent. Can't argue with it. And here's the transmission side of things. See how dry the release bearing is. Ooh, we'll be replacing that. That's spicy meatball. But yeah, overall, you know, there you go. I'm going to get to tearing this fan shroud off. And that will reveal the oil cooler, which will reveal our oil leak. There's tin screws on the side of this fan shroud, holding the cylinder tin to it. A lot of junk and gunk still. This one's also holding my fuel line in place. Very nice. I'm gonna have to disconnect the coil wires because the coil's gonna come up with the fan shroud. I think I can play the angles and get it past the carburetor. That's gonna be my hope anyway. All the tin screws are off that need be off. There's a strap that holds this generator in. I'm gonna cut that puppy free. We go to put this back in, we can put it in without the belt, and then the pulley wheel and everything will be easier to clear the body and all that good stuff. Okay, that should be it. Nope, yes, no, yes, that should be it. Just making sure none of the wires and stuff are connected up. I think I can get this generator sort of up and out of the way, but the oil cooler resides here vertically in the fan shroud. And so that's what we're trying to get at, obviously. And it may bind up and make it so I have to take the carburetor off. Very close. Did not have to take the carburetor off. Sort of forgot about the accelerator guide tube. So it just kind of popped its way out of things. Now I'm going to vacuum a lot of stuff up from back here. Rodent stuff. Things that the rodents were stashing here for people to find in the future. And then we're going to have a little evaluation of this oil cooler and determine whether or not it's just the seals that are bad. I think the oil cooler itself is bad and has rusted through. So that's all right. We will mend and repair and replace. It'll be good. So I'm gonna get to vacuuming, and I gotta dig through my inventory and see if I've got an oil cooler, and we'll take everything from there. As you can see, not only is there wetness on the top of the engine case from around the base of the oil cooler, where it very obviously was leaking, but there is also noticeable line of darkness here, which indicates, especially the wetness on this side, indicates that the oil cooler is rusted out and it's letting oil mist and permeate through. So we don't want to bother with trying to reuse this unit. They're inexpensive enough, it's time to replace. I got the oil cooler installed. Everything's back together almost. Strap for the generator's not on yet. So I'll bolt this strap up and get it all in position and everything. Get it all back together. We'll be ready to go back in to the vehicle. But before I do that, I'm going to replace the transmission mounts, because the transmission mounts, as you can see, are rather squashed. It's a little on the squash side. This is more or less, generally speaking, what it should be like there in the bag, and you can see that the one on the car is seen better days. That happens from oil and time and age and degradation and all that. So I've cut all the bolts and nuts free, and then there's a yoke on the bottom of this that the mounts are bolted into. Cut these guys free with the transmission on a jack, take the yoke off, and then replace the mounts, put it all back on. So I'm going to go about that process now. Here's a look at the system. We've got ye old jack, ye old block of hood, and transmission. And I've jacked it up just a little bit so that the mounts are a little bit closer to where they would have been originally. There's a little air gap underneath them, and they're ready to be pulled apart and come off. So I'm going to undo these bolts, undo both those bolts going into the frame horns, and those should be 27 millimeters. So I've set up my impact socket with a 27 millimeter. It's a fine thread on those, and we shall see how it all goes. Hopefully it goes smoothly. Everything's gone pretty smoothly on this. I've been very thankful to this vehicle, this beautiful 67 Beetle, that it is pretty much just a barn find survivor. And so everything's actually gone very smoothly, even though it's been encrusted with rust. Sure, there's been a bunch of broken bolts. But of those broken bolts, it hasn't been the end of the world. The oil cooler leak, that was kind of sad. It sort of stopped me from taking it down the road and actually, driving it for a minute and seeing what it's got. So get all this done, we get to drive it. That's going to be fun. Hey, just dropping in on you. This is what it's like to be a Beetle engine. Go fast. Yeah. So, bolts are out. And now, well, nuts more than bolts because it's like sort of a nut stud situation. Okay, that was easy. Damn. This is kind of crusty. It's a big smile. I'm going to clean this of its debris and put new mounts to the transaxle, because that's what you do. You put the mounts to the transaxle first, just in case there was any question that this mount is in fact bad. Let me produce to you subject A and subject B. And subject B should be a part of subject A. So the mount was bad. Can I just say that I would like to do all of my videos from the engine bay of a VW Beetle? This is really fun. It's actually a chill place to hang out. It's a good thing I like doing this because I get to hang out here all the time. Like there's a spot for my arm. I wish I was driving a car right now. It's comfortable. I don't know if it speaks worse about me or my job that I enjoy being in an engine bay this much. Anyhow, just some thoughts in no particular order. Less dirty. New mounts. That's what we'll do. Look at that. Had it right there. Just waiting for its time to shine. This is what the new mount looks like. Like that. It's like a little tugboat out at sea. And what's it pulling? I don't know. It's pulling something back here. It's like a little tugboat. Okay. I need to get some wave washers and some nuts for this. M8 by 1.25. And then I'll bolt that up. I'll also get some shorty bolts for under here because you have to insert the bolts first into the mount. Very important, because otherwise you cannot get the length of bolt into position with the mount under the transaxle. So once the mount is under the transaxle like this, there is not enough room, sufficient room, to be able to angle a bolt through there to get into the cradle. So you pre-insert the mount, bolt it all up, put the cradle up underneath, and the bolts will push up just fine, but they wouldn't like come all the way out and be inserted in. So you're gonna push those bolts up and then drop them through the holes once the cradle's in place. Because it's a playing all the angles kind of a game. Notice how the mount will even stay in place on its own just by catching the threads there. Because again, playing all the angles. So, bye. Bolts pre-inserted. Okay, I'm gonna clean that mount up, the yoke. Bye again. I scraped some of the mud off the cradle, so that's good. It's a little less muddy. And now I'm getting the bolts inserted in. I'll get the wave washers and nuts on them. And then we'll put the primary cradle holders, bolts. What was I trying to say? We'll put the primary cradle bolts in place, torque them to spec, and then we'll torque all the mount bolts to spec. We want to do the mount bolts last because there's some play in this and we don't want to be putting the transmission in a point of conflict. We want to sit and rest and enjoy its life on these new mounts, not be trying to tear them apart. So use the free play in everything until it's kind of bolted up and tight, and then take it away. If that makes sense. Doesn't really make sense, but you'll follow enough. It's gonna make sense to somebody. There's already a little grease on these. Let's see if it was so low. Oh, look at that. That threads up nice. We're in good shape. This one's threading up nice as well. That's just fantastic. All right, you need the ratchet for that one. It got a little too sticky to do by hand, but we're in good shape overall. I'm gonna grab my torque wrench, torque those big bolts down, and then I'll torque all the little mount bolts down and nuts. And we'll, I think, be ready to put the engine back in at that point. Engine bay seal. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the engine bay seal. They'll bolt the seal in the back. This back seal is actually pretty supple, but it's torn in a couple of spots. So I'm gonna replace the back seal, vacuum some of the mouse stuff out of there, and then I'm gonna replace this engine bay seal that's going around the whole engine bay. And then we'll be ready to pop the engine back in and actually drive this thing down the road. And I'm really looking forward to that. Engine bay seals are in. Got pretty warm in the shop, so I ditched the sweatshirt. We're ready to throw this puppy in. I mean, there's not much else to do. Put it in, run it. Drive it for the first time down the street. Now, any saltworthy VW person that's pulled an engine out, put an engine in, will tell you the most crucial thing that you can do when you're putting a VW engine in is keep it so that you can rock it around. Not just front to back like this, but you've got to kind of have a global gyroscopic kind of a thing. And the reason for that is to align it properly. You know, I'm on a lift here, everything's relatively level, but we're not going to be perfect. So there's got to be a little, I got to tip it this way and back and forward and down and over and up and shove it. That's first. Second is sometimes you want to put it in gear so you can rotate the wheels and get the splines of the input shaft to track over and drop into place properly. And then the third, I don't know why I'm doing a list. I just started with one item and then I just ran with it. Balance point. Balancing the engine, okay? I jacked it up, look at that. It's balanced really well. Side to side, front to back. Will it tip over if I wanted it to tip over? Sure. But is it reasonably well balanced where it's at? Yes. Yes, sir, it is. Sir or ma'am. My apologies. Now, get it up a little bit. I'm gonna shoot the accelerator cable through the guide tube. If you don't do that, sometimes you pinch it, ask me how I know, between the transmission and the back of the engine, and then you feel like a danged fool. As the engine goes up, I'm gonna tip it back pretty aggressively and then continue to pump it. Just keeping on going. It always helps to sing a little song if you can. My favorite is just keeping on going. Don't look that up, that's not a real song. Come on, people. You know, these are all just momentary jokes. All right, so I might have to pull the whole thing forward in order to tip it back. I think I'm gonna have to do that. Get myself some points in space. So it gets a little scary, but if you do it just right. All right, now it looks like we're almost to where we want to be. I'm gonna scoot this whole thing in a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. Now is the fun part. Now we've got to angle forward. So it's really funny. It's this constant play back and forth And I just keep pushing the accelerator cable through because I'm trained. I'm a damn trained monkey when it comes to that. I've lived too many lives where that accelerator cable drives me crazy. Okay, we're almost to a point where I can tip the whole thing forward to clear the input shaft. It's not gonna fall there, hopefully. And I'm gonna take a look. We are actually clearing the input shaft just by a mite bit. Do you wanna see? There we go. Not a ton of clearance, right? But just enough, that's all we need. There's the general look of the back of the engine as per. All right, now you know right where we were at. So that's gonna be all right. If we can just buy ourselves a little more uppage before going inage. Oh yeah, we're very close. I basically have to come up and bring the angle correct. I have to right the angle. Right is incorrect, not like write it down. Okay. Gotta like, Oh man, we are pretty much money right now. That's so exciting. That could not have been better, but the thing is that when I lift it up, I bet it's gonna be a little bit low. Can I look back here while I'm lifting it? I sure can. Are we low? Oh no, we're right there. Oh, that's so great. That's so great. I'm so happy about this. Does this engine install make my butt look big? We're still a little low on the one side. This side, this side's low. I mean, you can tell, can't you? Duh. Didn't quite get it. That's okay. I can't always win. Let's see, did that get it? Did we catch a bolt there? Nope. Tried to catch a bolt, but we didn't catch a bolt. And we tried to catch a bolt, but we didn't. So close. It is so freaking close. This side's already in, right? Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a matter of lifting that side up enough that it catches. So what I'm looking at back here are the studs. I'll show you that too. So I'm tracking the alignment of that stud there to the hole right here by the mount on the transmission. And that is the crucial bit of it all. In addition to looking at the transmission gap to the flywheel and making sure that it looks even top and bottom, and it does, so. Yeah, that feels right. The heck? The heck did I knock down? Oh, I guess I had my socket resting on the wood block that the engine's on. I'm like, what in the heck was that? Okay, and that's it, it's in. I mean, it's not in, but you know, it's in enough that I can now begin to do things that are of needed nature, necessary, some might say. That's the proper word for what I'm trying to say there. Of needed nature. What the heck is wrong with me? We are in, and I was just reminded that by myself, by my own brain, I never tightened this clamp up on the fan shroud, so slide that into place and tighten that up real quick, but that's a wrap. That's an engine installed in a VW Beetle. Just gotta actually bolt it up now, but I'm curious about that. It's in, it would run like this. So you put the clutch in, you know, knock her right out. Yeah, wow, I feel good about this. I'm excited. Now I'm gonna go under the car. I'm gonna install these wave washers because every single one of these nuts on the engine should have a wave washer for it. And I'm gonna put the two nuts on the bottom two studs. I'll push the top two bolts through. It'll be more or less all the way bolted in by that point. I guess I'll take a wrench with me. Okay, those two are nice and snug. Now, I pushed through the one behind the fan shroud, so I'll be able to get after that one first. And this is the test for all the rookie VW mechanics, is how long it takes you to thread this nut into place? And can you do it without pushing the bolt backwards and having it go over the starter? Which I almost just lost it there myself. So look at me trying to show off and be fancy and all that. It doesn't matter how fancy you are. The task is the task. The roll is the roll. The job is the job. That's a really sticky nut. Nothing sexual about that. Just a sticky nut. All right. Let me grab a ratcheting one because that's so stiff on there. Wow. Just keep saying stuff. It's just coming out of my mouth. Here we go. Ow. Almost just break my arm. Oh, come on. Stupid thing. I think I remember when I was taking this one off of here that it was like this. It's going to take a moment. So now that it's on 3 bolts, can drop the jack. Do the jack dance. I'm going to take the entire car up. Just kidding. This time I'll use the lift. Now while it's up in the air, I'm going to check a couple of things. And I'm going to push this bolt into position. That bolt's in position on the flats. Check that my accelerator cable is actually meeting up with the guide tube here. And it is, so that's good. And I'll insert my fuel hose and line so that that's done. And I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up as well. And now we're gonna come back down. Gonna do the bolt behind the fan shroud on the oil cooler side of things, and then start to reassemble stuff, and it'll just be hunky-dory. Probably won't take it down the road tonight. It's getting a little gray out. Well, it's been raining all day. It's gray outside, but it's gonna get dark with this grayness. And I'd like it to be a nice sunny day for this Beetle to trundle down the road and remember what it's like to be a moving vehicle. Well, I mean, it was just a moving vehicle, I guess, but under its own power. Well, it's kind of been under its own power, but a little bit of a, all right, I don't know. You know, if I'm gonna keep fighting myself on this, we're not gonna get anywhere. Let's fire this thing up. Nice and tight. So now, I've just got to torque the bottom ones. Obviously you can't get a torque wrench on these, so you just take them good and tight. But the bottom ones, you can get a torque wrench on, get some torque too. So you're gonna go up, torque those. I think that's pretty much it. Start slapping tin on it and everything. And hey, away we go. All right. Get these things out of here. That's it. Oil cooler seals installed. Engine back in. Everything's all back and bolted up and connected and happy. Should be happy. Little carburetor block off top. Don't want to leave that in there. Deck lid's a little chattery. It likes to talk to me while I work. Okay, that's enough. They get it. They get the idea. You know what? I'm gonna stop leaning on it. This is not your video, okay? Well, it kind of is, right? Hey, I think it's gonna be time to fire it up, time to test drive it. At least run it for a good long bit. Should probably check and make sure it didn't lose too much oil in that oil cooler fiasco. Yeah, we still got plenty of oil. Should be happy. Now, that was a pretty aggressive leak, but it's all been mended and tended. There we go. That'll shut it up. I'm going home. It's the end of the day. Got the engine in. I got to connect the battery in the morning. And hey, away we go. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow too. I need a burrito. I'm going to go try and find one of those. And then, tomorrow, this puppy, out on the road. Drive, drive. Screwdrivers. All right, let me put on the locks for the night. Well, if this isn't one of the most beautiful days for a test drive. The first time that this Beetle has really been driven. I mean, I took it down the road a little bit for a short period until the oil leak was like very apparent. This is the first time this thing has really been driven down the road since 1979. There's nothing else to say. Let's do it. Love the old school retractable belts. Safety. This is a special feeling. No insane oil leak. Can just go down the road. Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. And it's such a beautiful day. Let's go. All right. There's plenty of pep in this little motor. Brakes, whew, the brakes, they inspire a lot of confidence. kind of the little Beetle that could. It sat for so long, but it knew it would get back on the road. We knew it would get back on the road. So, yeah. Here it is. Back on the road. Willy, you are a good car. Forgot how it was buckled in here. Well, that was fun. That was really, really fun. It always feels good bringing something like this back to the road and being able to drive it. Just thinking about how many people over the years have sat in here and enjoyed the view